Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting day of lessons. Today, we're still focusing on units 1 and 2, which is expressions and equations. Today, we're going to be focusing on multi-step equations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So, really quick, I forgot to give you this vocab when we started equations, but that's okay. A solution is our new vocab word. A solution is a value for a variable that makes the equation true. Okay, so when we get like x equals 2, that's the value for x that will make it a true statement, meaning that both sides are indeed equal. Okay, so that's our vocab. So solving multi-step equations is a combination of solving 1 and 2 step equations, so SAD-MEG, and also about simplifying algebraic expressions, that distributing and then combining like terms. And we can do it in 4 easy steps. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Having difficulties. Okay, so step 1 is to distribute. Again, if there's anything that needs to be distributed, we have to do that first, okay? Step 2 is to combining like terms. Now, like terms are going to be the ones that are on the same side of the equal sign, okay? So make sure you're only combining the stuff that's on the same side of the equal sign, and then we'll deal with it when they're on different sides later, but combine like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign, okay? Step 3 is to get all the variable terms on one side and all the constant terms on the other side using the inverse property. So we kind of saw this in our exit ticket, but we're just going to be moving them same way. If we have a 4x that needs to be moved to the other side, we subtract 4x from both sides then. Okay, and I'll show you examples when we do this together. And step 4 is to isolate the variable using the inverse property. So if we have 4x equals 2, use the inverse property to get the x by itself by dividing by 4. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and look at some examples. So example 1, solve the following equation. Okay, so step 1 is to look for any distributing. There's no distributing on the left side, nothing on the right side, so we're good. Step 2 is combine like terms. Here we have a 5a and a negative 8. They're not like terms, so I can't combine them. Here I have an a and an 8. I can't combine them. Now, and I definitely cannot combine the 5a and the a because they're on separate sides of this equal sign. So if you need to draw a line that's like a wall, do that. Okay? Step 3 is to get all the variable terms on one side and all the constant terms on the other. So we have to do the inverse operation. So here, I like to move the variable term first, and I always choose the one that has the smallest coefficient. So here the a, I subtracted a from this side. I also had to subtract it from the other side as well. Okay? So that leaves me with 4a, because this 5a and then minus a can be combined. So I get 4a minus 8 equals 8. So now it's just like a 2-step equation now. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and that's going to leave me with 4a and 16. Divide both sides by 4. I get a equals 4. Okay? Now I'm actually going to check my answer here. I take this solution that I got and I plug it back into the original problem, into both a's, and I should come out with an equal, like 2 numbers that are equal on either side. So I go ahead and plug it in. Oh, where'd it go? There you go. So 5 times 4 minus 8 equals 4 plus 8. Do the multiplication. 5 times 4 gives me 20. 20 minus 8 and is supposed to be equal to 4 plus 8. So I do the subtraction and the addition. I end up getting 12 equals 12, which is a true statement. Those are equal to each other. So I checked it and I know it's correct. Let's try another example. So again, we have to go through our 4 steps. Nothing to distribute on either side. On either side, they don't have any like terms, so these are not like terms, these are not like terms. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose to move this w first. So I'm going to use the inverse property and subtract w from both sides. Okay, that's going to leave, and then 7w minus w leaves me with 6w plus 2, and then this is only going to leave me with an 8 on this side. Now it's a 2-step equation. Go ahead and subtract 2 from both sides. It's going to leave me with 6w equals 6. And then just divide by 6 on both sides. That leaves me with w equals 1. Okay? Not too bad. The biggest thing is that now we're okay when we get to this point. To get to this point, though, we're going to have to subtract or add like a whole variable term to one side. Okay? Or to both sides. So you can choose which one to do it. If you wanted to move the 7w first, or you wanted to move the 2 first, or the 8 first, that should not affect your answer. Okay? You should still get a w equals 1 at the end. Okay? I'm just telling you the way I like to do it. You could do it multiple different ways. Okay? So let's go ahead and check our answer. We're going to plug in 1 for the w's. If I can find it, there we go. 7 times 1 plus 2 equals 1 plus 8. I'm going to do the multiplication first. I get 7 plus 2 equals 1 plus 8. Now I can do the addition on both sides. I end up getting 9 equals 9, which is a true statement. Okay? Okay. So go ahead and try these on your own. Don't forget to check your solutions. Okay, these are just like our examples. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Pause the video. When you come back, I'll have the answers. Okay? Go ahead and pause. Alright, welcome back. So hopefully it wasn't that bad. For A, you should have gotten k equals -1. And you can check your answer to make sure that was right before I even showed you the answer. Okay? And for B, you should have gotten h equals 1. Okay, now if you had an issue with either of these, please make a note of it and make sure you ask during class, and I'll be happy to go over it with you. Alright, let's go on to something a little bit different. So this is now going to have those combining and distributing steps in here. Okay, so example 3, solve the following equation. Well, here on both sides we actually have something to distribute. On this side we have to distribute this -1, and on the other side we have to distribute a 2. So we go ahead and distribute that, multiply it with everything inside there. We now have 5, that 5 still hanging out in the front, so it's got to be brought down. 5 minus 2x minus 1 equals 8x minus 6. Okay? The next step is combining like terms. This side we have a 5 and a -1 that can be combined. No other x's on this side. Only one x and one constant on this side, so nothing to combine on the other. So I'm going to do 5 minus 1 gives me 4. So I have 4 minus 2x equals 8x minus 6. Okay? Now I'm just going to do what we did on examples 1 and 2. So I'm going to actually move the -2x by adding 2x to both sides. Just like that. And then, so this side's going to leave me with 4. The 8x plus 2x is going to leave me with 10x. And I still have my minus 6. Now it's just 2 steps, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So that makes us undo any subtraction first. So add 6 to both sides. And then the 6's will cancel out, leaving me with only 10x. 4 plus 6 gives me 10. So I have 10 equals 10x. And then I just divide both sides by 10. And I'm going to get x equals 1. You can write it this way, 1 equals x, or x equals 1. Doesn't matter, symmetric property says they're both the same. So I can go ahead and test my answer. I'm plugging it back into the equation. So I put a 1 in for both of those x's. So I have 5 minus 2 times 1 plus 1 equals 4, 2 times 4, 1, times 4 times 1 minus 3. So I'm going to do the multiplication inside the parentheses first. So I have 5 minus 2 plus 1 equals 2 times 4 minus 3. I'm going to do the group symbols for next. So I have 5 minus 1 equals, 5 minus 3 equals 2 times 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the multiplication. 2 times 1 gives me 2. Now I can go ahead and do the 5 minus 3 gives me 2. So 2 equals 2, which is a true statement. Okay? Remember, if you have any questions, pull star and we can go over it. Example 4. I only have one thing to distribute, and that's that 3. So I go ahead and do that first. So now I have 7 plus 6x minus 3 equals 9x minus 8. I can combine the 7 and the -3. Nothing with the 6x. So 7 minus 3 gives me 4. That's 4x. So now I go ahead and treat it just like examples 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and move the 6x first by subtracting it from both sides. So the 6x's cancel out, leaving me with only 4. 9x minus 6x gives me 3x. So I have 4 equals 3x minus 8. Now it's just 2-step. I'm going to go ahead and add 8 to both sides. I get 12 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. I get x equals 4, or 4 equals x either way. It means the same thing. So now I go ahead and plug that back in just to check my answer. So I have, there we go. So I have 7 plus 3 times 2 times 4 minus 1 equals 9 times 4 minus 8. I'm going to do this multiplication first, and I get 8 here. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the 8 minus 1. Gives me 7. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the multiplication. 3 times 7 and 9 times 4. Now I can go do the addition and subtraction. I get 28 equals 28, which is a true statement. Not too bad. Now go ahead and try these on your own. The first one looks a little messy. So there's two distributions in there. Second one, there's only one. Okay, just take your time. Go 4 steps, 1 step at a time. Okay, when you come back from the pause, I'll have the answers ready for you. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so for A, you should have gotten an answer of n equals 0. And for B, you should have gotten an answer of x equals -4. If you have a question on them, go ahead and put a star, and I'll go over them in class tomorrow. But yeah, and that's it. That's our whole lesson. So if you have any questions, please make sure you ask in class. Other than that, have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye. Ah, wait, how can I pause this?